tell me, Jack, I said, I'll survive without, with or without.
Okay,
either one. It's just, if I can take advantage of some stuff right now, I'd rather do it and not miss the boat, than everybody else is.
I'm going to call this recessed meeting of the High Point City Council to order. So this was a meeting that began on Monday night, and at the end of that meeting, the meeting was recessed to 5:30 today. I will begin by calling the roll of, to see which councilman we have present and online. Here, present in the room is Michael Holmes, Cyril Jefferson, Chris Williams, and me, Mayor Jay Wagner. Ms. Peters, are you with us remotely? Okay, not hearing her. Councilman Jones, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Councilman Hudson, are you with us?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Councilman Johnson is not present in the room. Do you know if he's calling in? I had heard he was not, so. Okay. Councilwoman Peters, are you with us? Okay, perhaps she will join. Ryan, if you could let me know if one of these folks joined. Okay. We do have a quorum. Do y'all want to proceed, or do you want to wait and see if we pick up Tyrone and Monica? What's the feeling of the group?
Proceeding.
You ready to proceed? Tyrone's coming.
Yep.
All right. Councilman Johnson just walked in the door, so we've got him. All right, we will proceed if there's no objection.
None at all.
Okay, I'm not hearing an objection from anyone. So the purpose of this meeting is due to the COVID-19 public hearing rules. We have to wait for 24 hours after the initial public hearing to receive additional comment and before we can vote. So the 24 hours has passed. As I go through each item, I will ask the clerk if we have received additional comments. I know we have on a couple of these, I think, at least one of them. And those have been forwarded to council for review as they came in. So everyone on council has had the opportunity to review those comments, and they will be placed in the record by the clerk. First item is the Britanno's Opportunity Zone project. I will entertain a motion on this item.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem, Chris Williams, to approve, I assume to approve. Yes, and seconded by Cyril Jefferson. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none, I will call the roll for the vote. Mr. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters, are you with us yet?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes? Okay, how do you
Okay,
vote on this item?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
The mayor votes aye, so that motion is approved by a vote of 8-0. Next on the agenda is a Community Housing and Neighborhood Development Committee item. This is the public hearing, or the vote for the 2020 to 2024 Consolidated Plan and analysis of impediments to fair housing choice. Have we received any comments on this item?
We have not received any comments for this.
And I should back up. We did receive some comments on the Britanno matter.
Yes, we had two that came in prior to the public hearing being held, and one that came in during the 24-hour waiting period.
And those were forwarded to council. We did have the opportunity to review
Yes.
those as well. And in addition, I did receive some emails, and I think maybe some others did as well. They weren't officially submitted, but did come in the form of emails. Okay, but back to the 2020 to 2024 consolidated plan. Is there a motion on this item?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve by Mayor Pro Tem Chris Williams and seconded by Councilman Cyril Jefferson. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore's absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
I know that was good at dinner.
Councilman Jones?
Okay, we're back to the 2020 to 2024.
Councilman Jones, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson? Aye. Mayor votes aye. That item is approved by a vote of 8-0. Next items are Planning and Development Committee rezonings. The first one we'll discuss is the zoning map amendment 20-05, Carr Davis 2 LLC. Did we receive any comments on this item, Madam Clerk?
We have not received any comments.
Okay. With that being said, I will entertain a motion on this item.
So moved.
Motion to approve by Michael Holmes and seconded by Tyrone Johnson. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay. Hearing none, I'll call the roll. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. That item is approved by a vote of 8-0. Next on the agenda is zoning map amendment case 20-08.
Mr. Mayor, you would need to read the consistency statement
Yes.
into the record for each one of those zoning cases.
Okay. Do you want me to back up on the other one?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. On the Carr Davis 2 LLC matter, we would put I'll put a statement into the record that this item is consistent with adopted plans and it is reasonable and in the public interest for the reasons stated in the staff report. Okay. All right. Please, Madam Clerk, please enter that into the record under that item. For the Braxton Real Estate and Development LLC item, I will make the motion to approve and state that the item is consistent with adopted plans, that is reasonable in the public interest as stated in the staff report. And is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Michael Holmes. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye.
Mr. Mayor, for the record, I would like to state that Councilman Johnson was the second on that motion.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I just heard the noise from that direction. It sounded like you.
Sound like the voice of God.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
Aye.
Next item is zoning map amendment 20-10 is Premier Stores Incorporated. And I will make the motion for approval of this item and state that it is consistent with all adopted plans, that it's reasonable in the public interest for the reasons as stated in the staff report. Is there a second?
Second, Councilman Holmes.
Michael Holmes with the second. All right. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Was that an aye or a nay?
Aye.
Okay.
Yes.
Councilman Jefferson? Aye. And the mayor votes aye. That item is approved by a vote of 8-0. Next item is zoning map amendment, case 20-11. High Point Investment Holdings LLC. I will make the motion for approval and state that this item is consistent with adopted plans and it's reasonable in the public interest for the reasons stated in the staff report. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any discussion on this item? Hearing none, Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
The mayor votes aye. So that's approved by a vote of 8-0. And next case is zoning map amendment 20-12, also High Point Investment Holdings LLC. I will make the motion. Have we received anything on any of these?
We have not received any comments on the public hearing matters for planning and development.
Okay, all right. I just want to make that clear. I knew that we hadn't, but for the record and for those listening, I want to make sure that they knew that. I'll make the motion for approval of this item, state that it is consistent with adopted plans, reasonable in the public interest for the reasons stated in the staff report. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Cyril Jefferson. Got the second, I think, on that one. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is absent. Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. So that item is approved by a vote of 8-0. There's nothing else on the agenda now that these have been taken care of.
Motion to adjourn?
There's a motion to adjourn brought by Councilman Cyril Jefferson. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by
Second.
Councilman Tyrone Johnson. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the roll. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Johnson?
Aye.
Councilman Peters? Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Mayor- Mayor Pro Tem Williams?
Aye.
Councilman Hudson?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson?
Aye.
Mayor votes aye, so we are adjourned.